Welcome to the 2021 Virtual Canstructure Competition Award Ceremony. I'm Katie Morgan, Executive Director of Youth Volunteer Corps of Hampton Roads.
And I'm Kimberly Moore, YVCHR Program Director, coming to you from the YVC office. And by the way, we are both fully vaccinated.
That's right. This is a special evening for many reasons. First, it signals the culmination of weeks of hard work by 16 different teams across Hampton Roads. It also happens to be YVCHR's 10th annual Canstructure event.
That's right. We're celebrating 10 years of incredible Canstructures designed and built by some incredible youth. So show some love in the comments and let us know you're here for this milestone in YVCHR's history.
Did you know that Youth Volunteer Corps of Hampton Roads hosted its inaugural Canstructure competition back in 2012 with just a handful of middle and high school teams? By 2019, the event expanded to 19 teams and included elementary and secondary schools. Last year, the traditional event was canceled due to the pandemic, and our Youth Advisory Board instead created a Canstructure at Patrick Henry Mall back in October as part of a network-wide challenge with other affiliates across North America.
This year, we have modified the competition to allow teams to work safely from wherever they're comfortable. We also opened the event to community organizations and families in addition to K-12 schools. Teams chose one of two options: the Build Where You Are in-person challenge or the fully virtual Design and Donate challenge.
And so the tradition continues, but in a new way. In a year defined by challenges, these teams have demonstrated adaptability. Despite the obstacles, they have been tenacious.
Absolutely. Some of you met virtually via Zoom. Some of you met in small groups wearing masks and divvying up tasks to maintain social distance. Some of you collected funds online in order to support the Peninsula Food Bank. And others hosted food drives that have collectively resulted in thousands of pounds of food that will soon stock the shelves at Food Bank to help feed families right here in Hampton Roads. As a STEM event, we hope your participation in the Canstructure competition has inspired you to hone your science, technology, engineering, and math skills. We also hope you tapped into those important 21st century skills like teamwork, problem solving, and effective communication.
And perhaps some of you have even discovered a passion for design. Let's hear from a very special guest who has built a successful career for herself as lead architectural designer for Spain Commercial.
Hi, my name is Debbie Gardner. I'm the senior designer here at Spain Commercial. When I was a little girl, they used to have little house plans in the newspaper, and for whatever reason, I gravitated towards that, and I had my little notebook, and I would sketch. This is maybe as young as 9 and 10 years old. I'd sketch little house plans, and this is what I want my house to look like someday, or somebody else's house. Or if I visited somebody's home, I would sketch it out and draw it up, and I'd place furniture and all that. So it was something I naturally gravitated for, and I don't know if it's because my dad is an engineer, and I just sort of, it's in my blood. And then when I got to high school, I took drafting classes because that's what I wanted to do. That's what I like to do. And then I went to Thomas Nelson and took drafting classes and architectural classes, but I leant more towards mechanical drawing because I thought I wasn't going to be able to pursue a career in architectural drafting. And so I started out my career at Newport News Shipbuilding and went to another marine design firm and then to an engineering firm. And how I stumbled into architecture was sort of a fluke. I saw an ad for a job at Riverside Hospital. Not everybody is cut out to go to a four-year college or even college in general, but there's a lot of different paths, I think, that are available that some people wouldn't necessarily think of. I didn't feel like a four-year college was for me. It just wasn't something I was interested in or pursued. I took classes at Thomas Nelson. I never actually got my degree. I started out at Newport News Shipbuilding. They had a design training program. Ship design wasn't for me, but I did it because I thought, well, Newport News Shipbuilding is one of the largest employers in the area. And they've since gotten rid of the design training program, but they have things similar to that through the apprentice school. Well, that's an option for students, and they can also get a 2-year degree with that now. There's also internships available at NASA. There's a design program at, I believe, at Smithfield Foods. There didn't used to be, but who would think of there being designers at Smithfield Foods? I didn't think of there being anything like that at Riverside Hospital, but they gave me my greatest start, what was actually a very good fit for me. There are 2-year programs through Thomas Nelson and other community colleges, but there's also certificate programs where you don't have to go as long and you can see, is this actually what I want to do? I mean, it was always easy for me to do drafting and design. And if I might have pursued a certificate if I wasn't sure if this is what I want to be doing. The field has changed so much since I began doing this many years ago. When I first started out, everything was on the board. Pen, pencil, pen on mylar, pencil on vellum. And it's actually kind of therapeutic to sit there and draw, but it's labor intensive and it's sort of like art. Then technology sort of came about and AutoCAD became sort of the gold standard, and that's what you used. And I slowly learned how to use that. A lot of what we do enables engineers to do what they do.
Wow, thank you, Debbie, for inspiring future designers and STEM professionals with those words.
And while not everyone will decide to pursue a career in a STEM field, all of you have made a lasting impact through your work on this Canstructure project. Over 100 students have joined forces to help feed those experiencing hunger. And these structures are symbols of hope to many who are food insecure. Our hope is that you have gained a stronger awareness of the issue of hunger and how it impacts our community. And we hope it inspires you to continue helping those in need. Thank you for being hunger heroes in Hampton Roads. Let's check in with Donna Ty of the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank to hear more about your impact.
Hey, I'm Donna Ty, Director of Development for the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank. We serve families across the greater peninsula, Williamsburg, James City County, Gloucester, Matthews. You are doing such wonderful things in our community. You make our mission possible. Partnerships within our community strengthen our families. They strengthen the community. They make our mission the best it can be. And again, we could not do that without the support of you and the positiveness that you spread into the homes of families struggling with food insecurity. We help families facing the fears of food insecurity, children, seniors, hardworking families, and our veterans. Hunger lives in all pockets of our community. You just never know when you need the resources of a food bank. But know that you are making a difference by participating in the 10th annual Youth Volunteer Corps of Hampton Roads Canstructure. I love this event. Over the last 9 years, 125,000 meals that you've helped generate. You should be so proud of yourself and continue that effort into this 10th annual Canstructure contest. And I just want to thank you so much for all that you do. And I always say that everybody is a winner in the fight against hunger because you participated in this event. We could not fulfill our mission without the wonderful partnerships with what we have with organizations like Youth Volunteer Corps of Hampton Roads. So again, thank you so much. We appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing all these awesome ideas and creative structures that you all have. It's a difficult thing to judge, but again, everybody is a winner in the fight against hunger. So thank you again.
Thank you, Donna. Before we proceed to the awards portion of the ceremony, let's meet this year's teams and see their impressive Canstructure projects.
Wow, how amazing is that?
So impressive.
Every year, it's more and more difficult to select the winning teams, and 2021 is definitely no different.
That's right, especially considering the challenges that made this year truly exceptional.
So before we recognize the winners, let's meet the panel of judges who had the tough job of evaluating each team's project. We appreciate the commitment of those who volunteered their time and talents to evaluate the Canstructure submissions. These professionals represent different fields and sectors of the community, bringing decades of experience and lots of enthusiasm to the table. They are always fair and impartial in their decision-making and utilize a point system that is defined in the rubric that we provide to all teams. Adding to the difficulty this year is the fact that our judges were not able to interact with the teams in person or see the Canstructures in real space. All projects were evaluated in a Zoom session where the Canstructures were shared virtually using the images and video files that each team submitted online. Thank you so much to our virtual Canstructure competition judges. We have our fingers crossed for an in-person competition next year where we can all be together again at Patrick Henry Mall.
Speaking of next year, mark your calendars for the 2022 Canstructure competition, which will hopefully not be virtual. We are tentatively set to gather again at Patrick Henry Mall on Saturday, April 30th, 2022, which is Global Youth Service Day. We can't wait to see you there this time next year.
That's right. And hey, Kim, let's take an important pause to thank the amazing business and community partners who made this year's event possible. As always, we would not be able to host this competition or provide important service learning opportunities throughout the year without our event sponsors. Our presenting sponsor for the 2021 Virtual Canstructure Competition is Newport News Shipbuilding, a division of Huntington Ingalls Industries. Their legacy of always good ships includes the design, construction, overhaul, and repair of more than 800 ships in the U.S. Navy and commercial customers. They are the largest industrial employer in Virginia, and we are truly grateful to have them right here in our backyard.
We have several other event sponsors who have come alongside YVCHR to support this year's virtual Canstructure competition. Huge thanks to MEB General Contractors for their ongoing support, as well as to Consumer Litigation Associates, both of whom are platinum sponsors. At the gold level, and one of our longest running Canstructure partners, is Prism Contractors and Engineers. This year's silver sponsors are Patrick Henry Mall and Sue Harmon, Vice President and Wealth Management Advisor with Merrill Lynch. We also have two community partners who provided incredible in-kind support to make this year's event possible: the Junior League of Hampton Roads and, of course, the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank.
Please visit our website to learn more about our business and community partners.
Well, Katie, I think it's about time to announce some awards.
I think you're right, Kim.
Our first award actually goes to the Hampton Roads community. Tonight, we're highlighting youth service. And it's important to note that since 2009, YVCHR has partnered with over 60 local organizations to activate over 2,640 youth volunteers in more than 1,600 volunteer projects and service learning experiences, resulting in over 68,650 hours of service. And counting.
Yes, and any youth in grades 6 through 12 can enroll as a youth volunteer by visiting our website, www.yvchr.org. Our mission is to make volunteering educational, rewarding, and fun, and to inspire youth to develop a lifetime commitment to service.
We certainly couldn't do it without the support of our YVC school club sponsors, and partnering community organizations, our board of directors, and of course our Vonner Service Scholars from CNU who serve as our YVC team leaders. Hey Avery, Nicole, Brandon, Noah, Catherine, and Josh.
To highlight the collective impact of our youth volunteers, we'd like to award this symbolic check to the community representing the value of our youth volunteers' hours of service.
And while this isn't actual money that YVCHR is giving to Hampton Roads, this check signifies the investment made and the economic impact of youth service over the course of just 1 year. According to data from the independent sector, YVCHR's volunteer service over the last 12 months is valued at $101,261 in the local economy. That's a huge number and a big impact, especially during a year plagued by a global pandemic. And without further ado,
the moment you've all been waiting for,
it's time to award our first trophy. This one goes to the team that collected the most money for the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank through online fundraising. All of these funds will support the food bank's mission and go a long way to feed those who are food insecure. The trophy for Best Fundraiser goes to Sedgefield Elementary.
Now let's announce the winners of the 2021 Virtual Canstructure Competition in the Design and Donate category. This year's second place trophy goes to
Menchville High School. And in the Design and Donate category, first place goes to, drumroll please, Riverside Elementary.
In the Build Where You Are category, third place goes to
Yorktown Middle School.
In the Build Where You Are category, second place goes to
Point Option High School. And this year's first place trophy in the Build Where You Are challenge is Heritage High School.
Our last trophy is a big one. It represents thousands of pounds of food collected by one team. It also translates into thousands of meals for families right here in Hampton Roads. From all of us at YVCHR and the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank, we thank this team for taking it to the next level and for impacting the lives of so many. The winner for the most food collected for 2021 is
Heritage High School.
We do have some superlative awards, so stay tuned.
And as we wrap up the festivities, we invite you to guess the total number of meals generated by this year's Canstructure competition. Type your guess in the comments and we'll send a private message to the person who guesses the closest. Please limit to one guess per person. The winner will receive a YVC t-shirt. Check out our Facebook page for the grand total.
And that concludes the Virtual Canstructure Competition Awards ceremony. T-shirts and awards will be distributed beginning next week, So check your email for information about deliveries.
Thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate a decade of Canstructures. Thank you for using your heads, your hands, and your hearts to combat hunger here in Hampton Roads. Good night.